Welcome to the Soul of Motorsports, brought to you by the Throttlestop. Today we have a very special guest, Mike Kertscher, General Manager and President of Road America. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Ron.
Good. Have a chair. Before we get into all the great stuff you're doing at Road America this year, tell me a little bit about yourself. You were born here in Wisconsin area?
Yeah, close by. I was born and raised in a little town near Fillmore, Wisconsin, and came up here as a child, cut my teeth racing on a track that they used to border this facility here, the Karting Kettle in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin.
Was that karting?
Yeah, I started karting right here in Elkhart Lake. My parents got me here when I was a kid, and that was really my first memory of Elkhart Lake.
Yeah. And you went on to some bigger four-wheel stuff, though.
It went on from there and raced. I always wanted to be a racer. That was the only thing I ever wanted to do, and I was able to do it driving for a variety of teams and the sprint car ranks here in Wisconsin and beyond. And
did you win some championships?
I won a bunch of races and won some championships, but it's a tough way to make a living. Yeah, was very fortunate to be able to race for some top teams and have some success. And
did you squeeze in any college time here?
I did a little bit. I originally went to school for tool and die. I thought, my idea was if I knew how to machine parts, I could make some really great race parts and lighten them up. And I was able to do that. So all through high school, I worked at a machine shop, and it kind of fit into what I was doing. Yeah. So after high school, went to school for tool and die and did that, and quickly learned I didn't want to work in a factory for the rest of my life, and was racing. Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I was probably racing 50 to 60 times a year. So it was aggressive, but had a lot of fun, and was able to do it professionally for a few years, and eventually found my way into sharing my passion with others. And that was through Skip Barber. I had was engaged to help instruct a bit here and there, and in the winter months, of course, I had a lot of downtime, so Skip would send me all over the place to check out a lot of the tracks, and eventually worked my way into doing marketing with the Skip Barber Racing School, helping with the booth work and things that they did at that time. And I met George Brugenthies at RA, and went to work for him just part-time for a couple of years. And
what year was that roughly?
Oh, that had to be probably
15 years ago.
03, 04, somewhere around those parts. Yeah. And at the time, George had a vision that the Motorplex was built, the karting track was built, but it hadn't really, really taken off. And the idea of having corporate events was in existence, but they needed somebody to really put it in motion. And after a couple of years of helping him just here and there, he was courting me a bit to come work there full time. I wasn't ready to do it. I was still traveling a lot and racing and just doing what I love to do. And so it was probably not until I think 07 when I went to work full time at RA, and the rest is history.
Well, it's nice to have a racer running the track. I think people appreciate that. My grandson races at the Kartplex quite a bit, doing very well. So anyway, how's the construction coming and the improvements? I know it's been a little bit on Facebook and stuff like that. The new bridge sounds great. A new pit area to get up from the northern paddock, and that's all paved.
Yeah, it's coming along. In getting out in the community and beyond, it's always amazing to me. People think in the wintertime, what could you guys possibly be doing in the winter in Wisconsin? Are you hunting, ice fishing, playing cards? What do you guys got to do?
Drinking.
And, I tell everybody. I said winter here for us at Road America, it's construction season. Yeah. And we have a few months to kind of reset, and this year is definitely one of the biggest years in my career here as far as capital improvement projects. probably only second to when we repaved a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So really took a big bite this year with the bridge. The bridge that was currently on the front straight, it didn't owe us a whole lot. It had been there forever. It was a walking bridge.
Yeah.
With our events and the continued progression and growth of them, we needed a bigger bridge to service the paddock and really to help with the golf carts and even vehicles on some days. It'll be nice to be able to get across there when needed and if needed. So we put together a pretty aggressive capital improvement plan, and including the bridge and the north paddock, and also the road that's going to go up next to the pit lane along the north paddock. That'll sneak right up in the false grid, so that'll really limit the amount of race car traffic that we have up and down the Midway Road by the bathroom and such.
It can be pretty rough getting by the gearbox there.
Yeah, so we're doing it all at once. We needed a tremendous amount of fill for the bridge project because the ramps, we have to have drive up ramps on the east and the west, so that required a tremendous amount of fill. And instead of us bringing it in from somewhere else on the property, we thought this is the best time. Let's use the fill that we already have in the north paddock. We dropped that whole area down probably 2 feet, and now the fill just had to be hauled up the hill. It was right there, so we didn't beat up all of our roads getting it where it needed to be. And so we're through that, and all the storm sewer is currently installed, and dug a retention pond inside of turn 14, and also put a 24-inch pipe underneath the racetrack. So that's a big deal. We had to bore that. We got that done before it got just too cold here. Water management's a big deal.
Yeah.
So we're anxious for it to start warming up a little bit so we can continue to move the dirt, because we do have a lot left to do. So
maybe on one weekend you could let that fill up, and then you could let kids have a fishing contest or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Fill it up with bluegills. Where did the stockholders go now? They used to be right next to the gearbox. Are they still going to be able to park in that area, or
we're going to unveil a plan?
Okay.
We told them last year at the meeting, and in my travels throughout the year, that the area that they had parked previously was going away. It doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
It's a massive area now.
Well, the bridge is coming right in.
Yeah, it's coming right in, and so we have a plan. We're going to unveil it at the stockholder meeting here in April, and I'm pretty excited about it. I think people will enjoy it. It's definitely an upgrade from from what it was.
And what's the marquee for the Vintage Weekend in July? Is it Formula One?
Yeah, we're trying to attract some Formula One cars. The problem is everyone in the country is trying to do the same thing. So it's the 75th anniversary of Formula One, and trying to get a few cars to come up in addition to the ones that we normally get.
Well, Bertie Martin's son Bo, he owns that Cooper from '62.
All right.
I had that up on Facebook. Somebody said it was Hap Sharp, but I don't remember Hap Sharp driving Cooper. I know Bertie did, I'm pretty sure.
Excellent.
But he still owns the car, so I'm trying to get a hold of Bo and tell him to bring that thing up in July when he brings all his other cars.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
We're also going to feature the sanctioning body that was the initial sanctioning partner for the Road America 500, so the USRC, and so we're excited. We have a good contingent of cars that fit into that. Those good times. So we're pretty excited about that, and there'll be more to come. Pretty excited. I think we have a really special guest coming this year, so we're maybe even a couple of them, and so we're going to be talking about that more soon.
Do you know Bob Kendall from up north?
Sure.
He had, I think he won the award for his Alpha or whatever he had last year. I don't recall, but he has this Estalia that Novellari drove.
Okay.
And he owns that car. It'd be great to get him to bring that down. It's really unique.
That'd be fabulous.
Yeah. Well, there's another big thing coming up, and I had a call from Dan Davis, and I didn't know about it, but he told me 70th anniversary in September, and you're planning quite a celebration.
Yeah, Road America's 70th anniversary. It's a big deal. There's not too many tracks in the country that can say they made it 70
That's
years,
for sure.
and we're certainly one of them. we're going to be celebrating all year, and it's going to culminate in September at the fall vintage event. We'll definitely be throwing a party and doing some activities. We're working on the plans as we speak, but just excited to be. It's exciting times. 70 years of massive, infrastructure upgrades the last 3 years.
Oh yeah.
In 3 years we've been very fortunate. We've been able to reinvest.
From day one, that track was just special. And, we've been, Clyde and I have been looking up entry lists for that September race. And the first race that ran was actually for MGs. And there's one driver that's still around, that's Bill Wiestoff.
Yeah.
And so he'll be here, I'm sure. And for the HRC dinner that Thursday, we're trying to get a few cars that actually raced, because they're probably still around, although probably their owners aren't.
You bet. Yeah, we'd love for those cars to invite them out to the track for sure. Yeah. We give them a spot to display, and on Saturday we always have a season pass holder luncheon, and it's a special opportunity to engage with our fans, some of our most loyal customers that we have, and hopefully we can get a couple of those cars to show up at that event. And if Bill could come as well. I know we've been talking to him to tell some of the old stories.
I heard a rumor that you were trying to find if there were any Miss Americas still around.
You mean Miss Road Americas?
Yeah. I said Miss America, Road America. I think the last one was 76, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know when the last one was. It's funny you brought that up, because Clyde asked that question last year at the season pass holder luncheon, and in front of 700 of our closest friends. I told Mr. Mortar, I said, perhaps we got to form a committee, and it starts with you. So I think he took it to heart. I know he's been doing some legwork on it.
Quite a fellow.
So we'll see.
The last one was quite a while ago, so being my age, I might even be able to go out with her.
It's possible, right?
Well, this has been great. Anything else you can tell us about the season coming up? SVRA in May is our first one.
Yeah, we always kick off SVRA, and we get into it. Moto America, our motorcycle event, which has seen phenomenal growth the last few years.
Yes.
I think last year was the first year, perhaps since I've been at the track now, that we sold out of camping for a bike weekend. Just incredible growth and participation. They're racing these baggers, and Harley and Indian and the others are really behind that. It's just great to see the renewed excitement in what Moto America is doing. Then the usuals, the June Sprint's always a great event. Bolstered, of course, by having the runoffs. So, car counts for the June Sprints last year set records. I think it was one of the biggest June Sprints we've ever had in our history. IndyCar is a fan favorite in June. It's it's a can't miss. It's one of our biggest events. But then also we have this relatively new event that we're excited about. This a standalone Trans Am event. And this year we've rebranded it a bit. Cheese Capital Cup.
Okay.
And we've lobbied. Plymouth is actually the cheese capital of the world, in case some folks don't know. And we've lobbied them to move their Cheese Fest to coincide with Trans Am weekend. And we're excited about that, because we're going to engage with the community. And for the first time ever, we have this rich history of race cars coming out onto Highway 67 and heading to Elkhart Lake. And, what happens here within this community is just phenomenal. And this is our opportunity to connect with Plymouth. And we're going to take a parade down to Plymouth.
Oh, really?
And park about 60 cars down there between Trans Am and
what night will that be?
That'll be Friday night.
Okay.
I believe it's Friday. I got to check the schedule. But it'll coincide with the Cheese Festival that they have down there. So we're pretty darn excited about it.
Well, you sponsored the race there last year, but it got rained out, right?
Yeah, we do a sprint car race in conjunction with IndyCar. We always have the Road America Challenge sprint car race at the fairgrounds. So we'll be doing that again as well. A new event we did last year that we didn't really know how it was going to turn out was the Grid Life Festival. And that's back again this year. We had our first big time concert last year. and it was pretty exceptional. So we're really excited to see what that does. It brings a whole new demographic to Road America, and we had great success with it last year. People were really genuine and treated the facility very well, and just excited to do it again.
Yeah.
They haven't made any announcement who the entertainer is going to be, but I'm not sure if it'll be anyone that you or I listen to. But it'll be somebody for sure that appeals to the younger demographic, perhaps.
What was I going to ask you?
IMSA, is on our calendar. That sucker's been growing. Early August. It's a great event, and we set a record last year, an all-time attendance record for IMSA, and for our event, and it's already on pace right now to beat it, and we'll see what happens. But it's right there with IndyCar, and I expect it to continue to grow. There's 18 manufacturers that participate in IMSA in today's market, and that's pretty incredible when you think about professional motorsports.
The GT thing is terrific. You have something new called the Tower Suites?
Yeah, we rebranded a bit the VIP Tower, the Tower Suites, and we've remodeled. We started remodeling that whole building. We started with the upper floor. So we did 2 suites this year, totally reimagined them. The look and feel on the outside is definitely improved. We put new roof on and new railings and just sprucing it up a bit. It's been a while since it's seen some love, and we want to give it to it. Give it what it deserves. The tower is a pretty special place, and people tell me all the time they miss the pagoda, and and we do too, but the tower in its current form serves a lot of purpose for media and race control and all the stuff that goes on every single day. There's stuff in there. So
a lot of people have wanted a Road America museum, and I think that corner going down, that you now own that whole corner there.
Yeah, we recently purchased some property, about 11 acres, just right to the east of our main gate. So now the whole corner, the Road America is
you
property.
could put the old pagoda in there, rebuild that, and you go through the front door and come out the back, and Chevy's got a wing, Ford's got a wing, Porsche, Audi. You get those guys throwing their money, and could be quite a. You don't have to move the gift shop down there, leave it where it is, but I think it would be a big attraction 12 months a year.
Yeah, well, it's good to have aspirations. The gift shop selling, one thing I wanted to mention, took the old bridge down on the front straight as we're constructing the new one, and our contractor helped us with a cool little memento that Julie's selling through the store, the bridge plates, and so sales are going really well. I think we'll have to do a reorder, but it's pretty cool to see people wanting to own a piece of history, just as we did with the track course.
You bet.
But the bridge is a lot older than that originally track. The track was 27 years old.
You have people come from around the world to Road America for some of your events, and be able to take something home like that is a nice memento.
Yeah, it's something to hang in your office or in your living room, and a keepsake that people remember forever. Yeah,
well, I did appreciate, and a lot of fans did, your T-shirt that was for sale there for a while, I think, with the truck on the front.
Yeah, the poo truck shirts.
Yeah.
That's a story that seems to follow me around for the last few years, for sure. It was.
Well, you're a creative person.
Well, it's sometimes you stick up for what you think is right, and that was one of those instances.
Yeah, and do you want to tell us a little bit about that, or do you want to save that for something else?
It's up to you. We can talk about it.
Just very.
Yeah,
fill us in on how that started.
Well, at times, drivers, and I've been on the other side of this. You let the emotions get the best of you, and it's really easy to do. So IndyCar practice, one of the top drivers, Mr. Willpower, he was having a bad day. Yeah, it really was. There wasn't any one thing in particular, but it all kind of culminated with him running into Scott Dixon during practice and wrecking both their cars, and I think, I don't know if Scott moved in front of him or whatever, but he had some choice words to say about the racetrack as well as part of his commentary, and him being upset with Mr. Dixon. And I saw it, and of course didn't want to miss a golden opportunity to let him know that it was our sandbox. So conveniently, we engaged a pumper truck, and parked the thing by his motorhome.
He made a comment in the interview that was not too flattering about the track.
Yeah, he compared it to
surface.
Yeah, he compared it to Portalet or something. So he got the truck, the pumper truck, by his motorhome for a bit, and I left the keys in it for him.
Yeah.
And he did move it. He moved it over by Dixon's motorhome. So they had some fun with it after the fact.
Yeah.
But we still joke about it. Yeah, that was a few years ago, and he's warmed up since. Last year he won our race. He was pretty excited, and I had a pretty cool gift to give him in the victory lane to keep we made amends. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
And he's welcome at Road America anytime.
Of course. Very good. Well, can you think of anything else?
I'm excited for a great year. I hope you come up and you bring all your friends and your family.
Sure will. Everybody
buys lots of tickets and hamburgers and brats. We'd love to see you out as much as possible. The runoffs is coming back. That's a big event, and some of the best racing we see in September and October is the SCCA runoffs.
Well, jumping to next year, the Gurney reunion is supposed to be back, or
I hear a rumor. Yeah.
No, it's
all right.
It's on, as far as I know. I'll see Rick Dreesing Saturday, and Carol Jensen will be at a memorabilia show, and we've already been talking about it. And Justin thinks we can get maybe 40, 50 Eagles.
Oh, it's incredible. We'll look forward to that for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting. It was great the first time. So thank you for coming. I can't think of another question, probably something that would get me in trouble, but...
All right, fair enough.
All right.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you very much. Sit tight.
Take care.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching and listening. If you need a car, don't forget to come to the Throttlestop, and you can find the one you've been looking for. Thanks for looking. See you next time. Be sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you.